possess? What could he accomplish? I was deeply intrigued. I only started writing this tome as a pastime. But in order to give it a clear perspective, I must reveal my identity. I was once one of the guardians of the Spirit Sword. The precepts of the Guardians were very strict, one of which stated no Guardian may ever touch Soul Calibur. But in my younger days, I failed to properly suppress my urges. When the others discovered my designs, they broke my arms and banished me. Amid my despair, I searched for a way to survive. What I discovered was the art of reincarnation. After a long period of training, I mastered the secrets contained within this lost wisdom. I reincarnated myself over and over again, and became an entity that could transcend generations. At first, I didn't realize the price I would have to pay for eternal life. For every time I reincarnated, I experienced the pain of death. It felt like my soul was being crushed. It is hard to put such pain and suffering in words. Indeed, I hadn't managed to completely escape death. No matter what one may accomplish in life, death remains inescapable. My bodies have lain in countless graves, but my soul will never rest in peace. So it was that I came to yearn for the final eternal death I could never have. And such desire began to corrupt my everlasting life. Gradually, I began to seek out death itself. That was 1,000 years ago. My desire for death was at its peak. That longing for true death led me to even take hold of Soul Edge. Wisdom, power, battle lust. In those days, I felt I could do anything. But when it was over, I was forced to confront just how prideful I had been. As a puppet of the cursed sword, I kept fighting to my last breath. And for what? I fought in an age of endless war that spanned the world, all to establish a certain dynasty. That is all I'll say on the matter. I've lived as every type of person. Old, young, man, woman. But I've never felt as much joy as when I wielded that power. However, not even the cursed sword could free me from the chains of samsara. And so I died, and was born again into this world.
In a remote corner of lands to the east, there is a village of wind worshippers who live in harmony with nature. Talim was born into a family of shamans and raised as the last priestess of the winds amid the encroaching Western civilization that threatened their way of life. Due to her great sensitivity to the spirit world, Talim was heavily affected by the evil seed and nearly died. As time passed, Westerners began to visit her village, and one happened to bring with him a certain metal shard. The elders who saw this vitality charm instantly realized it was dangerous, for it was a shard of the cursed sword, Soul Edge.
Such an evil aura. This must have come from beyond the currents of the winds.
It is far from where it belongs.
It could end up influencing those nearby, altering their destinies.
Long ago, I sensed an aura just like this one.
Oh?
And I have a feeling that this shard isn't the only one that's fallen away from where it belongs. It must be returned to its rightful place.
I agree with you, but...
I sense it belongs in a faraway place. Please, let me take it there.
No! You're the last priestess of the winds, and the world is in chaos. If you were to leave this island and lose your purity...
there would be no one left to praise the winds.
But...
Perhaps her journey could bring her closer to nature and amplify her purity as a priestess. Don't you think that's just as possible?
Father...
I agree with my husband.
Sanput, Liddy, your opinions are not without merit. Still, I find myself hesitating.
Eldest one, will you not give Talim permission to leave? Elder Kalana.
Talim, think about what your name truly means.
She's gone.
I see. Talim, you'll have to wait a bit longer until you get official permission.
Okay.
The eldest one is not as sharp as she once was, you know.
Oh, listen to the pot call the kettle black.
You said it.
Such a nice breeze.
Indeed. Once you've finished your sword practice, you should hike to the mountaintop.
Great idea.
Now, let's review your lesson once more. Are you ready, Talon?
Yes.
I think that's enough for today.
Thank you so much for your help.
Talim, Is Talum here?
Yes,